They thought I had celiac. Like, I got a endoscopy, colonoscopy combination. I lost over 30 pounds.
Yeah, that's literally what happened to me.
I still think I have an autoimmune something going on.
But it wasn't gluten.
No. Why are we talking in like this is part of the episode?
It's very serious. I am actually interested. That's interesting to me. Was it Crohn's? Because I know those
they tested me for that too. They took like a chunk of my intestines and they said they were super inflamed, but no. It ended up being some bacteria in my gut. Me and Dale, we're just like this. Partners.
Gut issue,
I gotta not
besties.
pound the table.
Why?
Because I did that like 20 times last time and it echoed.
Oh, you did? When you were here?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back.
Thanks. It's so nice to be here.
I think you're going to be here a little bit more often, huh?
Yeah, we're going to make it a thing. Don't have to worry about working no more. A lot of life changes since Dale Part 1.
Should this be Dale Part 2?
Yeah.
Dale and Katie Part 2. Dale is so special. He gets his own episodes. I mean...
You know, we have a lot in his little 7 months of life.
Yeah.
Because last time I was here, we left off the episode positive that we were going to go to his ENT appointment that following Monday, and then we were going to get some answers.
We were going to get those answers.
We were.
Did we?
We did, kind of. That Monday.
A very long process.
No, the point was that Tuesday. That Monday, he started wheezing again. And I stayed up with him on the couch, and we ended up in the ER Monday night, and we had to go by ambulance to Children's.
Because his breathing was that bad.
Yeah. And it was to the point where, like, I knew it was off.
Because this happened once already.
Yeah, this was our third hospital trip.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Him and Cora just...
You know, I told him, I'm like, this is it, buddy. We're done. We're not doing this.
For the rest of your life.
We're not doing it anymore.
You got it all out at the beginning.
I mean, he has our insurance, we've cost our insurance so much money that he now has a personal nurse that calls and checks in on him every week.
That's pretty boss.
To try to avoid us going to the doctor because they're tired of spending money on him.
Please don't go to the doctor.
They're like, we can answer any questions you might have.
Do you want to do a
So I have a speed dial
appointment?
Yeah, I have a speed dial. I mean,
what?
Speed dial.
Wow.
Like, I have her in my phone. Brandy, I call her up. She tells me what I need to do.
That's kind of awesome, though.
It is.
Because she's, rather than you continuously going into different doctors, different nurses, things like that, trying to re-explain it, she's just going to know Dale's issues.
Yeah. But yeah, we ended up in the ER, which we just went to our local one because I thought it was going to be how it was before, where we went, they suctioned him out. By the end, he was okay. So we were sitting there, and he was definitely sick, but within about a 2-hour window, he went from okay to I was scared. Like, he was having trouble breathing. And for him, he's smiley all the time, and he just was, like, done. So they ended up they almost sent us by helicopter, which I wouldn't have been able to go with him.
Terrifying.
So I was so scared.
Yeah.
And then they monitored him, and they were like, we can do ambulance. So we went to Children's National to the PICU, and we were there for 9 days because he was on high flow oxygen with RSV, pneumonia, rhinovirus. And then by the end, they diagnosed him with failure to thrive. There was a whole long list. It was the nurse when we were getting discharged was like, that's a long list. I'm like, yeah.
Anything else so we can get out of the way while we're here?
What else can we do? What else can we do?
Man.
But we did get some answers while we were there. GI did do some tests. And he wasn't able to eat for 3 days, like no food by mouth. So he had like an IV of fluids. And he never threw up again after that. Just poof, magic.
All he needed to do was to get the trifecta viral infection.
Yeah, all we needed was a 9-day stay in the PICU.
Who would have thought? I mean, we could have done this earlier.
I mean, and everybody's like, why? I'm like, you know, they didn't know, and I don't care why. I don't need to know. Yeah. I don't. But it's crazy the difference in my life and how much easier it is.
Yeah.
Like laundry. I do laundry like once a week now. Before I was like every day, and if I didn't do it every day, I would run out of sheets and pajamas.
That was part of Dale's last episode. Was you explaining to us how much laundry you do.
Now I'm like, wow, this is normal life? Like, this is crazy. One outfit the whole day? What? Like, I don't even get to wear all his clothes now. Now I'm like, I have too many clothes.
I know. I was going to tell you that when you started buying a lot of clothes. I was like, Katie, you might not need them all.
Because before it was like 5 outfits a day. I had to have a rotation.
Yep.
So I don't know. That was crazy. But I had a big life change while I was there, and it kind of fits in with the Working Moms episode. So I was a working mom. I was a school teacher. For those that don't know, I taught 3rd grade and taught for 6 years. And it was so hard. You guys talked a lot about balance. And I know Cash with daycare, we're one of like the only ones who had full-time daycare. And they're sick constantly.
All the time.
And it is exhausting trying to figure out how you're going to take off work and how you're going to get them if daycare calls. And it's just a nonstop mental game. So I dealt with all that as a working mom. I'm in the PICU. My work's calling me because I'm out of leave. And after 2 weeks...
Right, because at this point, right around Christmas, you took off.
Because he had pneumonia.
Right.
Yeah. So I was off, like, from Tuesday before Christmas. So it was over 2 weeks being off. And they basically were like, your options are, you could take a leave of absence or quit. Like, okay, well, for now, I'll take a leave of absence. So I filled out the paperwork, and I'm now a stay-at-home mom.
Crazy.
So, yeah. I think I'm the only full-time stay-at-home mom in the group now.
Yeah, that you don't work
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, staying at home with your baby is its own full-time job.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's different. There's so much great about it. Like, I don't miss a second of him.
I feel like you're catching up on a lot
I am.
that you missed with him.
Yeah.
And we talked about this the other day, that it seemed like you guys were like at your lowest point being in the PICU for 9 days. Like that in itself, that time frame alone before anything else that you went through with Dale was like insanely hard.
Yeah.
And then for you to come out of it with a whole different baby that you now have the opportunity to fully enjoy and just like love him every day.
Well, and it's when I was working, it's so hard because I love teaching. Like, before I had Dale, those were my kids. Like, I don't think I realized how much time I spent on my teaching job, like planning after school, just things that I was a part of. And this year was so hard for me going back. Like, I just could not find the so-called balance people talk about. I just couldn't do it. Every time I was at work, I was thinking about him. I didn't want to be there. My patience was not there. And I really had already asked Jacob about quitting, like, and being a stay-at-home mom. And we both neither of us ever would have taken the leap if this didn't happen. Right. So, in the grand scheme of things, I do believe there was a plan in place, and it was forcing me to quit. Not that, I'm still an employee. Right. I'm on a leave of absence till the end of the year, but I don't know. It pushed me to do it. And like you said, there's still stress as being a stay-at-home mom. It's a different mental battle, more isolation. Because you don't clock out. No. And you're isolated. I think if I lived here, it would be a lot different. Me and Sam went for lunch today.
Yes.
And, that was awesome. But there, I don't really have friends that are home. So.
Well, even, like, I remember when I was on maternity leave, and I was to the point where I was getting bored at home, and I'm like, hey, does somebody want to go on a walk today? Do you want to meet up? And everyone's like, oh, I'm working. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
Well, okay, I guess I'll just do myself.
Laundry and mop the floors for the 90th time. Yeah. And me and Sam were talking about this today, and me and my therapist, because I started therapy since coming home from the hospital. And I talked about this with her, being a stay-at-home, I fight about being productive. Like, I feel like my day is not productive if I don't do laundry, have dinner ready for Jacob, get the house clean. And I feel like I'm not, and I am productive because I'm changing about 75 diapers. Like, I'm feeding him around the clock. We're playing. I'm helping him develop his speech and his movement. Nap. Yeah, fighting with him to sleep.
Right.
Like, I am doing a job, and I think that's something stay-at-home moms you know, battle with. I mean, I'm not speaking for all of them, but I think it's something that we battle with is like, I'm not being productive when we are. Like, if we actually wrote down everything that we did all day, it's a lot.
If you think about it, if you acted as if being with Dale all day was your full-time job and you had to do your chores outside of the 40 hours of a full-time job, then yeah, I mean, you wouldn't get them done until after your shift's over.
Right.
You know? So that would be a hard thing. And I am the same way. I feel like if I'm laying on the couch, I hate sitting on the couch because I'm like, there's so many things I could be doing. Craig will tell me all the time. He's like, just sit down. I'm like, no, dishes need done. Laundry needs folded. You know, something could be done. Yeah. So it's tough to just
be present.
Yes.
That's what I'm working on. I'm working on sitting in the playpen with Dale and not thinking about things I need to do. Just like enjoying sitting in the playpen with my son. Because that is something you need to do. Yeah. And I'm blessed that I have this opportunity. And like you said, all of the stuff that I've been through with him and myself, like my mental health, trying to deal with my mental health and figuring out who I am while also dealing with a sick baby, it was just a lot. And now we're on the other side and it's just awesome. Like our bond is...
Oh my gosh. You guys kind of have like your own show.
Yeah.
You're like the cutest thing ever. When you were on your way driving up here... at your little pit stop
with banana.
Him. You guys were just doing the thing.
Dale had a pit stop banana.
Katie drove 4 hours by herself with Dale. Did. Like, that is impressive. And it terrifies me.
Yeah, and for those that, like, I did not leave my house with him before. I did not go grocery shopping with him. Every once in a while, me, Jacob, and him would go because that way one of us could go out with him if we needed to. But, like, we didn't go places. Like, we didn't go to restaurants. We didn't go anywhere because it was just too much. So now, like, convincing myself, just do it.
You're like, you can do it now.
For the ride home, like, I decided last minute, and I'm glad because I didn't let myself build up to it. I just was like, you know what? I'm coming home. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it. My mom's like, how are you going to pee when you're at a rest stop? I'm just going to do it. Yeah. I'm going to do it. And I held him in my lap. And you know what? Oh, well, it worked.
That's fine.
I washed my hands. I washed him off. Like, it's all good. And I just did it. And then we're sitting at the rest stop and gave him a banana. I'm like, whatever. We're just doing it. We're just making it work.
Doing the dang thing. Yeah, like you figure it. That's part of being a mom. You just figure it out as you go and getting out of your comfort zone. Yeah. And that's been something you've started doing. So
after that, I told you, like, I don't want my fear and my anxieties to hold him back. And I don't want him to miss out on things because I'm afraid, because that's not what I want to be as a mom. I want to push myself to show him, like, hey, we're doing it. You can do it. Mom did it. So that's kind of just what we did. And he was a rock star. Like, he was. And today at the mall, he was a rock star. So I'm building that confidence in myself of, like, you can go out now. Like, he's doing all right. And, like,
did anything happen when you took him out today? And
he spilled. I had one beer at lunch. He spilled the beer all over me. And I almost panicked. And then Sam was like, Katie, it's okay. And I'm like, you're right. It's all right. It's okay. And I stunk like beer for a while. And I'm like, great. Everybody probably thinks I just...
I'm hammered.
I just had like 20 beers when it was one. But no, other than that, honestly, it was a wonderful time. So I guess building that confidence back and just being like, you can do it. And letting go of some of that anxiety.
And knowing that it's
itself.
And knowing that it's okay if things get messy or things don't go exactly how you want them to.
Oh, yeah. I still definitely have... Sam was like, I didn't bring a bib. And I'm like, oh, I have like 10. She's like with you in the diaper bag? I'm like, yeah. Like, I
always.
Like, I also have 16 changes of clothes. You need clothes? Like, I got them. I have 20 blankets. Like, I have everything you could ever need.
How many diaper bags do you have?
Right. But that's really, like, I'm still so prepared because But he was in the same outfit all day. Like, it's crazy how much changes. I mean, it's been a month. Like, quit my job.
Yeah.
No more throw up. He's put on over 2 pounds since the hospital.
He's getting big.
So, failure to thrive my ass.
He's thriving.
Yeah.
And he is loving food.
Oh, my God. It's so funny because I feel like food is a topic in our group that, like...
Well, we're all in that stage now. It's happening.
I was I'm doing baby-led weaning full out. Like, that was my intention going in. I had books and stuff. And then as we got closer, I'm like, I'm a little nervous about baby led weaning. I don't really know how I feel.
Terrifies me.
Yeah. So I am doing purees and then giving him like whatever the food is, giving him some of it to experiment with.
And we're all following that lead.
Yeah.
The same thing.
And he, God, loves it. And we've had a couple setbacks. Because he has a dairy allergy and soy, and we already knew that. And then last week he had an allergic reaction. It started like bumps around his mouth, and then it spread all over his body.
So that's what determines it's a food allergy? Is it starts on their face?
So viral rashes, because that's what I thought it might have been, start on their belly and back typically, like they call it on their trunk, and then spread. And food allergies would spread from their mouth, face, and down. So that's what his was. And by the time I got him to the doctor, like his cheeks were swelling up. But it's so hard to narrow down what the cause was. So I'm like, well, because a reaction can happen immediately or it can happen a couple days. So that's why they say do one new food every 3 days.
Right. But even then, I feel like...
Even then, sometimes it takes multiple exposures to really see the reaction. So I had thought it was peas because he had those a couple days in a row. And then yesterday he had another reaction, and I'm like, "What the heck did he eat other than his rest stop banana?"
Seriously?
Like, he loves bananas, but he had a ton of bananas before, so I'm like, I don't think it's that. And then something dawned on me. I'm like, okay, well, I have a gluten intolerance. I'm like, but he hasn't had gluten. And then I'm like, what about the oatmeal I've been giving him every day?
I didn't even know you were giving him oatmeal. Too.
I just started like the past few days. Like I started, I think Saturday morning, which is when it started to get bad again. And his oatmeal is whole grain and it had wheat in it. So I'm like, So I didn't give that to him.
Sneak that stuff and everything.
I know.
I'll tell you.
I didn't give it to him yesterday or today, and the rash is like clearing up.
Really? Wow.
So I'm like, well, pretty sure it's that. So we're just no dairy, no soy. No, we're just going to do meats, fruits, and vegetables, which is the healthiest thing for
literally the healthiest diet.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So,
he's going to have the best gut out there.
Yeah.
Even though he started with the worst.
And that boy will literally house, like...
Maybe that's what it was. Do you think it's something in his formula even?
I don't even know, because who even knows what's in that?
True.
Like,
I feel like once he's off it, he's probably going to be even more thriving.
But it's
off it.
And the food stuff, like, we're having two totally different experiences because Dale, like, from the start, but Dale's always been a straight to mouth baby, like literally constantly anything he's holding has always gone to his mouth. So I feel like it was just natural for him, and then was like, this is kind of good. I don't know. But
Cash, on the other hand,
he don't want it.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
it's taken like a month for him to come around to it, but literally anything we would put in his mouth, he's like. He's like, and then he literally gags every time.
Cash is such an independent baby. Like, I feel like he always has been, and he's just on his own timeline. Because now he's starting to touch it and play with it, and the next thing's going to be he's going to get curious. He's going to start putting more in his mouth, and eventually he'll probably be the one that you're just like, this boy can eat. Like, I can hear you like 5 years from now. Like, remember when he hated food? Yes. Now I can't keep enough in the house.
You're right. You're so right. But it's hard because... you feel like that's the next stage. And I thought he was ready because he was showing signs that he was. And then I'm like frustrated. I'm like, eat this food I just made. And I'm doing the same thing as you, making purees. And then I would even try to give him a piece of something like avocado or banana. And he just wasn't interested. I'm like, what the heck?
And it's so, and I told you this in the group, like, it's so hard to not compare when you're in a group full of babies. But like all of them... like not excel, but they all focus in different areas. Like Cash has been moving and grooving since Christmas time. He was moving and grooving
pretty much since he was born.
Where like Dale today got on his knees and hands for the first time, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, so it's been months of Cash doing it, and Dale's been not interested. Like, he just Superman-ing. That's all he really would do. Is
on his belly.
Yes, just Superman. So they all are kind of developing in different stages and different areas. But yeah, it's hard to like, I don't know. You just feel like, what else can I do? What am I doing wrong?
Right.
That's
why
the thought always in your head.
Doing it?
Yeah. Why can't mine do it? Why? What's the difference?
And I feel like that's what's so hard too about like doctor's visits and checkups, and they want your baby to be on this timeline, but they're on their own. Just like you said, Cash is on his own timeline. He's
Yeah.
gonna do he's gonna do it when he's ready, and it's not like they're gonna be these adults that don't know how to walk or use a spoon.
Yes.
Like,
That's what my mother-in-law always
there.
says. That she's like, you're like, he's not gonna be in kindergarten not able to crawl. Like it'll happen. Like it's if it's a little bit later, it's okay.
Right.
He's not gonna go to first grade not knowing how to say dada. Like like it'll come. It will come.
Yes.
But when you're in it, it's just hard to remind yourself of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cash is like, now he's getting more interested in it. And then it's hard because you go, doctors tell you different crap. Like all of our doctors have said different things. Dale's GI has said different things. Like
it's hard to know what's the right thing to do. Somebody tell us.
Yeah, like the pediatricians say don't give any strawberries until the age of 1 because of allergies. But why?
What happens at age 1?
Because I know they say they outgrow allergies, which is why like they're not going to do allergy testing on Dale unless like this reactions continue and we don't know why. But like they don't explain to you why.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. How do you outgrow it? And why only babies? Babies are a mystery. I'm telling you, nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody
babies.
knows.
Nobody knows them.
So that's why
there's a documentary on Netflix about babies. I started watching it on maternity leave, and they just like they're fascinated because they're these little humans that develop insanely fast. They do like all these things so fast.
Yeah, how do you go? That's what I was like shocked he got up on his knees, and my mom's like, I told you, one day they don't know how to do something and the next they're just doing it.
They just do it.
Like
who taught them?
Yeah, like I have no idea. Like
you're not down on your hands and knees like, here, look.
Yeah, it's I don't know. And yeah, the food thing, I just am kind of doing my own thing. And I was intimidated by making food. It's actually very easy.
It's so easy.
Yeah,
get a NutriBullet.
Listen, we got to put the one that I have. That thing is amazing.
Oh, no, you're right. Yours does a lot.
Yes.
Steams it.
It steams it. It blends it. It reheats stuff.
And it was reasonably priced.
I think it was like $60.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
I wanted something that I was going to use.
I'm going to use this thing. I steamed my broccoli for dinner the other day in it. Because I was like, this is easier than doing it on the stove.
Right.
And boiling water. So, yeah.
And you can do stuff at the same time on yours too.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is nice.
We'll have to add that to Mama Must Have.
Yeah.
Monday.
But yeah, the food thing, he loves it, man. Like, he will...
We have to post that video of him eating the banana. That was the funniest. And he wants more. Like, he's like leaning forward. Yes.
I'm telling you what, when this boy starts talking, I'm in trouble. Like,
he's gonna backtalk you so bad.
Oh, he's stubborn, and he not sleep because he is observant of everything. Like, he literally is like watching back and forth. Oh yeah, it's awful. I'm like,
major FOMO.
I'm in trouble. And now he's starting, when I hold him, he's like climbing over top of me, over my shoulders. I'm like, I'm in trouble. I created a mini version of me, and it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna get what I got coming to me. That's for sure.
I have Craig's mini version of Craig, and I'm gonna be the same way.
Yeah, he's been moving. Oh Lord, I just can't believe how big they are.
I know.
Like, we were at the mall today, and I'm like, look at him. He's a toddler. Like, he was sitting in a stroller.
A literal toddler.
Like, why does he look like he's 4? It's just crazy. It really is.
I mean, everybody says it. It happens so, it'll happen so fast. And you're like, yeah. But I don't think you notice it until you're watching I saw a Facebook thing that was like, you don't notice how time fast goes until you're watching what you created grow. And I'm like,
yeah, no, really. But it's so hard in the moment, like looking back at all that we went through in the moment. Like, it was so freaking hard. And like, I'm still working through and it wasn't even traumatic. Like, nothing traumatic happened. Like, when you're in children's hospital, I mean, you gain a lot of perspective. Like, I held it together like the whole time, and I didn't really know why I was okay. Like, I didn't really feel scared or anything. And then I realized, like, I was looking at other people's babies that were like in bad shape, and I realized, like, my baby's gonna be okay. Like, we're in the best place that we can be. Even if his breathing gets bad, they got him, and eventually he will recover from this. Like, he's not gonna. And I'm like looking around some of these other families, and I'm just like, wow, okay, gaining some perspective. Yeah. So I feel like I'm doing a lot better at living in the moment, and just because it goes so fast. Like, they're just growing. They're getting big.
They are, but it's hard because some days are hard, and you're just wanting to get through it. You want the day to be over, and you want whatever. Like, just the other night, Cash not sleeping. I'm like, just please go to sleep on your own. But
Literally
then I'm like,
every
the day
night.
he does and doesn't need me to rock him to sleep, it's so sad.
And when you have like a good day, like we said, that's the thing about postpartum, because those good days will trick you into thinking, I'm good, I got this. And like when you have those good days, you do look back like, oh, it'll be okay. And then when you're in the middle of the night, like me, every single night, when it was 5 a.m. this morning, like I couldn't even keep my eyelids open. Like I was like, I don't know how I'm going to survive. And I try to tell myself every day, you do it.
Yep.
You
tell
do
me
it.
that, yep.
Yeah, like
figure
we've
it
done
out.
this before.
Yep.
Like I don't know why it's so hard in the moment when like reflecting back, I'm like, you've done this literally every single night for 7 months. You'll be okay.
Yep.
Like
You'll keep doing it.
yeah,
And then one day they will sleep.
yeah,
and
one
you
day
will
it'll
too.
happen. Yeah, that's just I saw this TikTok and I think I've brought this up before, but it still cracks me up. Like, do you have a sound machine? Is the thing dark? Like, yes, I do. I have it all.
I tried it all.
I've done it all. I've done it all. Have you tried laying him in the crib drowsy? I have.
Yeah, oh my God.
I
That
have.
is stupid.
He screams.
That
bloody
is
murder.
stupid. That never worked for us.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And then I saw other recommendations that said to just lay them in the crib and then just leave. And I'm like, no, that doesn't work.
Which for some, I mean, I won't lie. There have been nights like in the middle of the night, I'm looking up, gentle cried out, like, cause I'm like, I don't know
How long?
Yeah, but like 2 minutes go by and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I just can't, cause I just don't see himself settling himself.
I just think it comes. We've talked about this on very early episodes. I think Sam messaged I swear, I've had literally 3 sips.
Yeah,
okay.
We only brought 2. This is it. We each got one.
It's probably all we need from the last episode. Sam mentioned the disposition, like your personality.
Oh, absolutely.
Having to do with it. And I think that definitely is part of it, because I feel like we tried everything. There is no, like, in the routine, everyone's like, bedtime routine, give them a bath, do the lotion, do this. I'm like, that doesn't make a difference. I'm like, I could do all that one night and he doesn't sleep, and then I could do another night and he'll sleep all night. Like, I did nothing different last night. He slept from 10 to 7. I did nothing different.
Yeah, it's all.
I mean, Craig read him the story instead of me, but we're not doing that every night. I need to read stories too.
I want to read the book. Yeah, and I don't think that's going to make a difference.
No.
And that's the other thing that I remind myself. Like, Dale hasn't had a chance. He hasn't had a chance at learning how to sleep through the night.
That is true.
Up until last week, I still had to feed him when he woke up, no matter what, because he was losing weight.
Last night he didn't want to eat.
No, he did.
Oh.
But I just mean, like, I had to feed him.
Oh.
Like, where now I can kind of, like, try to not feed him when he wakes up and try to soothe him back to sleep. Yeah, because now he's back where he needs to be. But before I had to. So now I've created this bad habit where
he's used to eating
he
every
wakes
couple
up,
hours.
yeah, and he's like, well, what the heck? Where's my bottle? So it takes some time, and I'm trying to, like, soothe him without feeding him to hopefully get him. But, yeah, we're still every 2 hours right now. Yeah, it's...
I don't know how you're doing that.
Me either. I just do it because I have to. I don't enjoy it. Some nights I'm okay. Like last night I was okay. 5 a.m. I was tired, but last night I wasn't like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It just seems like hit or miss. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what's the difference between nights where I feel mad and angry about it and nights where I'm just like, oh wow, I'm just gonna be here. I'm just gonna do it and see what happens.
Just depends on your mood, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. And I think not having to go to work helps. Like you have to still function the next. I mean, I still have to function.
Right. But if I want
to lay in his playpen, with him,
lay on the couch
with
with him while he contact naps,
yeah,
it's so hard to, and it, like, you just look at the time, like not last night but the night before, he was up so much, and I just remember, like, at one point he got up, it was 3:30 a.m. I'm like, I have to be up in 3 hours. So if I don't fall asleep right now, I will lose 3 hours of my sleep.
Yep.
And then I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
I gotta take him to daycare. I gotta be present for my job. And that's, you mentioned with when you were still a teacher, you are a teacher, when you were working.
Yeah.
And how you, like, couldn't figure out how to do how you used to do it. I've been struggling with that at work too. Because even though I don't have to do a lot of stuff after work, like as a teacher, you'd have to spend time prepping. For some reason, I just have a hard time keeping up with things at work. And I don't know what
because your
exactly
mental
it
capacity,
is. Yeah.
you're juggling more. Even though Cash isn't with you, you're still thinking about things about Cash, even
Right.
if you don't realize
I'm
it.
always
He's
checking
still,
the app, the
yes,
daycare app.
he's
Like,
still
what's he doing?
holding a place in your mental
Yeah.
space. And teaching, I'm like, I gotta take care of 25 kids and keep all these kids entertained. Like, I'm their entertainment. They're all looking at me. If I'm not teaching them, they're just staring at me. Like, what are we doing, lady? So, like, I had to, like,
You have to be on.
yes,
all
like,
the time.
I'm an actress. Like, you should see me up there. You'd be
I
like,
want to.
Katie is Miss Rachel. Like, that's what Marlena was like. Can Miss Rachel be a guest speaker, by the way?
Please.
But
would die.
Marlena's like, can you imagine having to record these? I'm like, yes, I can.
Like being Miss Rachel
because
and do this.
that's
you're like,
my life every day.
You're like, shoot, I should have been recording it this whole time. I would have
I'm
made
like,
money.
No, dead serious. I literally have thought about that so many times because, like, my mom has even said when she watches Miss Rachel, like, Katie, that's kind of like you. Yep, I should have done that. I could be a millionaire, and all of us
That means
could.
you're probably a really good teacher.
Yeah, I am. I am a good teacher. But yeah, I'm like, I just didn't have the mental headspace to
Yeah. Be
or
there
like
for them.
yeah, and what makes me a good teacher is my patience, and I had like none. Like, I used to be able to gentle parent as a teacher, basically, because you have to talk these kids through fights they're having and their emotions, and I didn't have the capacity to do it. Like, your
No
toes
sleep.
okay, go sit down. Like, that was the point I got to. Like, you don't need to go to the nurse because your toe hurts. Like, I just didn't have the, like, oh, honey, it'll be okay. I just didn't have it anymore.
Yep.
Like, I'm tired. I didn't sleep. I would tell them that. I'd be like, guys, I didn't sleep last night because I taught 3rd grade this year, so they're a little
They
bit
could
older.
understand it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't sleep last night, so just take it easy on me because I just don't have
You do
it.
that every day?
Yep, pretty much. They're like, you didn't sleep again? And then I would
Nope.
miss like 4 days, and they'd be like, was your son sick again? Yep. Yes, he was. Yeah. So leaving them has been, I'm working on the guilt of leaving a bunch of kids, but, you know,
They probably,
guess what?
Kind
That
of
school
forgot.
replaced me
yeah.
with,
will.
I mean, with a
They
long-term
have
sub,
to.
but
I mean,
they replaced me and never looked back or checked on me. So they told me I could come back, but I don't know. The parents
Who
have
knows?
checked on me more than
yeah.
the school
I mean, you've
has.
started your little tutoring gig.
Yeah, I just for
So that's
fun
awesome.
tutor a couple kids during the week just to still keep myself, you know, feeling like productive and
A person, you,
Yeah.
Katie,
yeah.
yourself.
And
yeah.
that's been the whole journey I'm going through since staying home is I was thinking the other day, like, Jacob, if you asked my husband, Jacob, what do you like to do? Like, what's something that you do? He would say playing music. Like, that's his, like, passion. He is amazing at it.
Craig could list you 400 things.
Right. Like, that's Jacob's number
many
one
hobbies.
thing. And Jacob doesn't have a lot of hobbies because he's a hard worker and stuff, but he at least has that to fall back on. Like, a month ago, if you would have asked me, like, what do you like to do? I literally would have been like, I have nothing. Like,
Mom.
what do I like to do? Take a shower. Like, literally,
Nap.
and that, like, realization to me being at home, like, I have nothing
Yeah.
that's just for me.
Right.
Like, that was what I realized after quitting my job. Like, there's
'Cause-
nothing that I'm doing that's for me.
Before you had your job.
Yeah. And, like, showering should not be self-care. Like, that's something.
That's a necessity.
Yeah, like, that's something that shouldn't be me time. That's
Right.
just, you have to do it.
Yes.
Like, it's
Yes.
not something that's like,
No, maybe taking a bath.
yeah,
That,
like having a
you
nice,
know.
that's different. But like me rushing to get a shower is
No.
not me time. So
No.
like since being home, have
You going to the grocery store.
yeah, as by
It's-
myself. That's not me time. Like,
No.
and that's what I think I told you guys that. Like, I'm like, yeah, and my alone time is going to the grocery. That's not fun. Like,
No.
I'm not
You're
doing
still
anything.
Doing something for other people and not just for you.
Right. And like podcasting.
And nobody likes grocery shopping.
No, I hate it.
That's
And
why I
it's
do
so
grocery
expensive.
pickup.
And it's so
Jump
expensive.
on the bandwagon.
But I just like realized that, and podcasting, like, I don't live here, so I hate, like, it's not the same as if I was here. So there really was nothing for me. So I've like cleaned out my whole office space that turned into baby storage and crap. And I like have created an area to scrapbook because that's something I used to really enjoy doing. And I just kind of told Jacob, like, this is something that I want to make time to do.
You're gonna make a
because
priority.
Yeah, I want something for me. And that's, society just wants moms to lose themselves and be a mom, and that's okay. Like, I'm 100% there for my kid when he I think I've proved that in these 7 months. Like, if he needs me to do something, I'm there, but I'm also still Katie. I'm not just mom. So, and I've told you that. I'm like, you need to find a hobby, you need to get something for you.
No, I have been reading.
I was gonna say, you've been reading
so much.
Shout out Colleen Hoover if you also want to come
Colleen.
on the podcast. We love you.
We love you.
You're the best. You're the best.
I cannot stop reading her books. I won't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop.
I used to be a huge reader. I can't. The mental capacity's too much right now.
For me,
I'm not there yet.
It is an escape.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a very imaginative person, so reading books to me is like watching a movie. Yeah. Like, Craig doesn't get it, but I'm like, this is...
No, that's how it was for me too.
Yeah.
But I also still have to be able to... I have to have a mental space to do it.
To go away there, yeah. Well, no, I definitely only do it when Cash is asleep.
Yeah.
So I don't get to read as much as I want to, but yeah, that's such a good point. Like, I said this like probably a couple months ago. I was like, I want to make sure, like, on the weekends, if I don't have time to myself, I go to like a coffee shop and just sit and read for a little bit. And I haven't done that, but I need to.
Yeah, we need to. And it's hard to leave your babies. And when you're a working mom,
you don't want to.
Saturday and Sunday are your full days with them, it's hard to leave, but it's also so important. Because if what I've realized in staying home, if my cup is empty, I'm not present. I'm not present with him at all when I'm home. Like, I'm like a zombie just going through the motions. Where, like, coming home this week, like, I already feel like when I do go back home, I'm going to be recharged and
refreshed.
And more like in the moment, instead of just like, oh, it's Groundhog Day. Here we go again. I got to do this. I got to make sure I wash the bottles. Like, you were going to say, why is there always bottles? Why? Every time I turn, there are bottles to wash. I'm like, can he drink like out of a real cup all the time now? Because I'm done. I don't want to wash another bottle. And I ditched the Dr. Brown.
Finally, I don't know how any of you did that. I don't know how
they
you guys
don't even
did that.
do anything, because now he's on the cheap $3 ones from Walmart that are
loves them. Doesn't
throw up. Fine. So Dr. Brown's
2-3 pieces to wash. Done.
Yeah, done. 2 seconds.
I'm telling you, I don't know how all of y'all were doing that for the longest time.
Well, they say that it helps with gas,
aka spend more money.
Well, I fell for it. I felt
they do that though. There's so many baby things that they like make you feel like you have to have, and you're like, oh,
like my Mamaroo that he sat in for 2 seconds.
Well, Cash liked his, but we borrowed ours. But
Dale also had reflux, and it would make him vomit everywhere.
My mom, I'm getting motion sickness. This is not helping my tummy.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, you don't like that thing, that's for sure.
No, that is. I mean, I'm in the process of selling a lot of baby stuff that Cash literally barely used, because you don't know when you're got first time baby. You don't know first time mom with a baby. You don't know what they're gonna like.
No.
I had 400 different seats for him to sit in, and he only really sat in the one that I
listen. That $25 bouncer that I have, that was the best. And now I have to retire it because he's gonna literally flip it over, like, because he's bouncing so hard. So
that's yes.
Oh, he's done now. My mom was down and was like, Kate, he's gonna flip himself out of there.
Skyrocket out of it.
Yeah, it's probably time. But that one was so convenient
to
move around with me, like whatever I was doing. So now I'm like,
where do I put him? Yeah, because he can't. They're not. I mean, they're sitting up, but not well enough.
Yeah, like I want to crack his head. Right. Yeah, so God.
Yeah, where do you put? I literally. It's so funny in the mornings when I am taking Cash to daycare and I have to go in my entryway to like put my shoes on and my coat. I just lay him on the floor.
Yep.
I just lay him.
Well, we're lucky because they're still potatoes. Like, what happens when they start fully crawling and walking?
I actually am like thinking about it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Like, I don't even know. It's just always...
He'll be like crawling back up the stairs while I'm putting my shoes on. Like, come back.
You just learn. Like, I texted you guys the other day and I'm like, how am I supposed to go to the bathroom? Like, when you go shopping, how do you go to the bathroom?
You don't.
I know, but what if you really have to? Like, that's why I only go to Target. Yeah, but like...
Why? What's Target?
Because they have like a family bathroom where I can like push the whole cart in if I need to.
Really? The whole cart will fit in there?
Yeah.
Oh.
At my Target.
Okay.
So that's good, like my safe place. But like, if you're somewhere else, you just hold them on your lap like I did in the rest stop, I guess. You just do it. That's my new thing. Just do it.
Yeah. And figuring that out, and then I've never realized how many places don't have changing tables.
I think it's against the law.
It has
If you
to
are a business owner and you do not have a changing table,
Get one.
check yourself
Now.
because I'm
Or
gonna start.
I'm not coming to your place of
No,
establishment.
but for real.
What do you do? We went to a restaurant this weekend, and it was like, you know, smaller family owned one. They had a very small bathroom, and they didn't have one. So you know what I had to do? Change them on the table. Sorry.
Like, they're not that expensive. We'll do a GoFundMe for
Yeah.
you. Like, but for real, because it makes
Yeah.
a difference. Like,
I mean, you probably don't want me to change a poopy diaper in the middle of your
yeah,
restaurant.
and I probably
while people
won't
are
come
eating.
back to your restaurant because you don't have one. Because that's
not
how I
convenient.
am. If
Yeah.
it's not convenient for me and it stresses me out, I'm just not going to go
Yeah.
there. Like, Texas Roadhouse, fix your changing table. It's broken.
It's literally like slanting. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's supposed to be
No,
like that.
it's not.
I literally have
So
to like
fix
hold my
it.
knee up, and I'm like, I mean, I should have told somebody.
No, they know. Are you kidding me? They know.
You're right. They have to know.
Yeah, they know. Fix it. That's. I'm gonna start telling
Stop
people.
making it hard on us.
I'm serious. I am.
It's hard enough going out with the baby. I mean, I know you had a lot of anxiety with it. With,
I
you
still
know,
do sometimes about things.
with Dale. I mean, you had every reason to with Dale's, you know, puking
Yeah.
thing. But even
Oh yeah, I still have things
Yeah.
because I'm like, it's easy if it's a place I can take his stroller. That's the easiest. Like if I'm going to the mall, that doesn't
Right.
give me anxiety because I can hang stuff on
restaurants, not really fun right
Yeah.
now because Cash just wants to like be moving and be
his. Right.
not held.
Now, have you started putting him in the cart yet? Because I think Dale's
Yes.
ready. Okay, I haven't started doing that yet.
The
So
first
I feel
time
like,
I have that like
yeah, me too.
cushiony
yeah.
insert. I forgot it the very first time I went to Target. Didn't have the stroller. Didn't have his carrier. So I was like, "Here's my coat," and I just like shoved it around him. He's like leaning. It's like we're gonna make this work. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Dale's ready. That might make things easier for like grocery shopping because I wore
Yes.
him in his carrier the other day.
What?
My
How did you do
shoulders
that?
were sore for like 3 days.
I'm not even gonna try it. I will literally like.
Yeah, no, I was sore for like 3 days. I was like, yeah, I can't do
They're
that.
like 20 pounds now.
He's 16 and a half.
That's
He's a string
closer to 20 pounds than 10 pounds. So
bean. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I did it, but my shoulders hurt for a few days.
was he facing out?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He loved it. Loved seeing the world, but yeah, I can't do it. Maybe
can't.
Jacob still can, but yeah, my shoulders hurt bad.
Yeah, I won't even try it.
But yeah, it's all that stuff. And when you're a new mom, and I went to Walmart the one day and I came out and I caught myself because I was like, other moms do this and they make it look easy. They don't. It's still not easy for them. They're
You
just
just
not
don't-
yelling in Walmart. This is so hard.
Right.
I'm
just-
anxious. That's what we need to start doing. Just wear like a Sims thing around our head. It turns red. I'm stressed.
Not having a good time.
Yeah, like
You just walk around like this. So
seriously.
tired.
Because we look at each other. It's like, oh look, that mom has 3
She
kids.
has it together.
And she has it together.
She
No, they
doesn't.
don't. All of
Yeah.
us are like, we're winging it. We're just doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You probably don't realize that nobody is really paying attention
No one gives
to
a crap
what's going
about
on in
you.
your life.
Nobody
If your
cares.
baby's screaming, nobody really cares.
And if somebody is judging you, they're not a mom. And if they're ever a mom, they'll get it. And if they're not, oh well. I will never see that person again.
That's true.
Like
That's what you-
I literally have like mental talks with myself now when I go places because I'm trying to get myself to be like, what is the worst thing that's going to happen?
Yeah,
Like, what are
yeah.
you so nervous about?
Right.
And I can't even think of anything. Like, I
Right.
can't think of anything that would make me like panic so much that I like, I mean, him screaming bloody murder, but I'll just leave. Like, what
is it? What's the problem?
I don't know.
It's in your head. You're in your head is the problem.
I'm in my
That's what it
head all
is.
the time. Literally all the time.
It's hard not to be. I mean, yeah. And I feel like, as moms, we just need to like be there. If you see a mom struggling somewhere,
Yes.
just like offer to help. Like literally yesterday, so Cash is in swimming classes. He's been to 4 out of the 8. He missed 2
shout out daycare.
because he was sick. So we went yesterday. We missed the last 2 classes before, and he like still was like, I don't know. It seemed like he was getting sick, but I really couldn't tell. So I told Craig, I was like, if you notice he's not having a good time, like just take him out. I don't care.
We're done.
Because the class, like, they do a really good job of like including everybody, but you could tell the class is definitely geared more towards like the 1 to 2, 3 year
Okay,
olds.
so yours has older kiddos in it.
Yeah, I think it's like up to 3. I think would be the oldest child in my class. And she'll always say like, have your kid do this, but except for the infants,
Right.
We have
so
exceptions.
There's time you can leave.
Yeah, because they'll do things like wall crawl and Cash can't move his arms down the wall.
Right.
So it's modified for babies. But just having him exposed in the water and used to it and comfortable is important to us. So anyways, so he had a great time the first half. He was splashing. You could tell he like missed it. And then at some point he just started to like be fussy and crying. And I'm like daggering at Craig, giving him daggers.
Out of there.
I'm like, I even went, at one point I'm like,
we're
and
cutting
he's just like, we're fine. He's so stubborn. And she even says to the parents, if your child's having a meltdown, ignore it and move on.
For toddlers.
The toddlers. If they're having a bad time in the pool because they don't want to swim, yes, make them swim. If your baby is screaming his head off, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Get him out. So literally the instructor had to be like, he's turning kind of purpley. Mom, you want to come grab him? Like,
and you're like, yes.
And I'm like,
Craig,
would love to. I told you to take him out. And he's freezing. I'm like, did they not have the heater on in the pool? Like, it's normally warm. The baby pool is normally very warm. And he was frozen. And then I'm like running him back. I have all the towels on him. I'm running him back to the changing room. And he's screaming. I'm trying to get a bottle and change him. And I'm flustered. And this mom
and
comes
in that
over.
Moment, you're like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
like,
I was like actually like frantic, panicking because he's screaming, he's shaking, and I just can't do anything fast enough. I'm trying to get his wet clothes off and dry him off, and this mom comes over and she's like, "Do you need help?"
And you're like,
"Yeah." Can you hold this bottle in his mouth, please? That's it. The simplest thing. She just sat there and held the bottle in his mouth, and it was the nicest thing because we were in the girls' locker room, so like Craig really couldn't help me, but.
And we look at...
It was the easiest thing. And she could have just sat there in the corner like, wow.
Right.
That mom's having a hard time. Her baby's screaming.
Yeah. And I think we live in a world where, like, we're scared that, like, strangers are going to be like, what the heck? I don't want your help. But more often than not, people are probably going to be like, oh, my God, yes. Or if they don't want your help, no, thank you, but that's so nice. Yeah. Like, it's not bad for you to be like, hey, or even just say, hey, you're doing a great job. I know it can be so hard. If somebody said that to me, I'd probably start crying. Yeah. Like, seriously, if somebody,
a stranger?
Yes, I probably would be like, you have been here? It's not just me? Like, seriously, because you feel like you're the only one who's frantic. The
spotlight's
and
on you.
Yes. Yeah. Because sometimes
you're not being a good mom. You don't have it under control. You can't figure it out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm not doing something right. Like, yeah, it's so hard. It is. It's so hard. And I just, like, and now that I've gone through it, I have so many people around me that are having babies right now. Like, I love it. It's like baby central. I have a baby shower Saturday. And now that I've been through it, I will check on those moms like no other. And I had a friend, Natalie, who after I had Dale, I don't even know her that well. She's actually Jacob's good friend's wife. And she texted me literally every day.
Wow.
And since then she has like shared with me, she had a hard time postpartum and she just wanted to make sure I was okay. And I just was like, you don't understand how much that meant to me that you were messaging me that often. And it wasn't, how's Dale doing? It wasn't, how's the baby? It was, how are you? Is there anything I can do for you? And it just is like refreshing of just like, and I will absolutely be that person for the new moms that are coming, because if you don't have that, you feel alone, and you're not. Like, you're really not.
You're not going to make that mom mad for reaching out.
No. And if they don't answer you, they're busy, and the baby's
sleeping.
Yeah, they're like, it's no offense to me, but I will make sure you at least have one person who has been through it and doesn't forget, who isn't too far removed and just says, you'll miss those moments. Like, yes, I know I'll miss it. And it makes me feel even more guilty when I don't want to be here right now. Yeah. Like,
no, I actually like texted my one friend after having Cash, and I was like, I'm sorry. I did not reach out. I was naive. I didn't know. I thought in my mind, you're a new mom and a new family. You come home with a baby and
bothering you.
You don't. Yeah, I don't want to bother you. I want you to have time with your family. I'm sure you don't want me texting you when you're with your baby, but now being, going through it myself, I'm like, wow. Yeah. I'm sorry I wasn't there, Like,
and even if I didn't answer right away in the middle of the night when I was on my phone, like seeing those messages, like
all those people that are there for you.
Yes. And when I was in the hospital, oh my God, my whole life, I've always been a person, like, I will do anything for anybody. And I, never ask for anything because I was in a crappy relationship before, and when I finally got out of it, I told myself I never want to need anybody. Like, that was my promise to myself, and I always was there to help everybody. Well, now being where I am now, I realize I need people, and that's hard for me to accept, but the hospital gave me no choice. Like, I had so much love and influx of, I had a student's parent who works in DC bring me a sandwich for lunch. Like, what? Like, people care about me that much?
Simplest thing.
Yeah, like
the longest way.
You guys sending me DoorDash, like, gift cards in the mail. Like, it just was so refreshing. And I want to return that to other new moms. And that's why I love this podcast. Because every message that I get from people listening that are like, it was so nice to know I wasn't alone. Or I'm just like, wow. Like,
that's
to be able to impact another mom like that is just like, I mean, what else could we want? Even if it's one other mom that just feels like, oh my God, I'm not alone. Like, look, I could cry about it because it is. It's just.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And anybody thinks they're not struggling. I have a red thing above my head like 90% of the time as a sim. Like, if that was me, it would be red all the time. I'm either hungry, tired, like not having fun.
Cranky.
Yeah, what are the other ones? Not having fun. Have to pee while he's napping on me. Got to go to the bathroom. Like, it's always something.
You need to sit.
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, it's hard. It is. And each new stage comes with its own challenges.
Yeah.
So we just have to like stick together.
It never ends. Like, now they're teething. Like, Dale got his first tooth.
Yeah.
What? Like, he has a tooth.
When's Cash is gonna come?
Well, see, it's all like, who knows? And guess what? It sucks when it comes. So don't rush.
That's why I'm like scared.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he slept through the night.
Some people. My sister said my niece, she didn't even know she did nothing with her teeth.
I knew.
They said like a couple of the molars, I think, at the back, she got fussy, but
Dale was letting me know.
Yeah,
he was letting me know.
Is it boys?
It's stubborn boys, and we both have them, unfortunately.
Great.
Every time me and Courtney just be in the middle of the night, like, why are we here again?
It's hey, Katie.
It's just always something. It just never, like you said, you get through the newborn stage and then something else happens, or you just stay in the newborn sleep stage. And stop asking me if he's sleeping through the night, because the answer is no.
I hate that question.
Every time I'm like,
stupid.
no, not even close.
Yeah.
Like,
you got another question?
Yeah.
To ask me?
Like, nope, not
ask me something I
tonight.
actually want to talk about, not sleep.
Nope, not sleeping.
Don't ask a new mom if her baby or her are sleeping, because the answer is no, always. Even if she is, she's really not. So
right, even if your baby sleeps, sometimes it's hard for you to sleep. So it's just, unless you're a dad, then then you have no problem.
Them dudes just be sleeping.
I literally told Jacob, I'm like, your snoring is the single cause of my postpartum rage. Because in the middle of the night, when I'm trying to sleep,
you're awake
and he's snoring
peacefully,
I get so angry. Like, I'm gonna end up beating you with a pillow one of these times. Like, for real. Because you're sleeping so soundly over there.
It's not fair. It's not fair. No, I know, Craig. He doesn't snore, but he can sleep in a second. On the couch, he'll just fall asleep. I'm like, how did you do that?
We have one of those beds where you can, like, raise up each side. It's like a split king. I'll literally, like, raise him up. In the middle of the night. He just wakes up sitting. Like, he just...
slowly.
Yep, I do. Because, damn it, I need sleep too. Okay?
Oh my God, that was funny.
Seriously, I do that.
What are you gonna do?
No shame.
No.
And then I'll be like, you must have laid on it in the middle of the night.
Well, now he's gonna know. Shoot.
You don't listen. If this is the one episode he listens to,
it will be.
I love you. I'm a better wife when I get sleep.
Yeah, wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, no, seriously.
But
and honestly, then there's my dog too in the middle of the night.
Dude, Cash.
Why are you on my side? Why are you on my side?
He's always up in her bed. And
Cash, name? Craig, Chester. Why are they all C's? Why did I just realize that?
Really? Yeah,
you're all C's.
Well, we didn't name Chester, but we named Cash with a C. Well, I mean, we named him a name with a C because we're all C's. Yeah. But Chester, I don't know what happened to him in his past life, but if you touch his foot, when he does, yes, he's like, I'm like, it's my foot. I'm not hurting you. And then he jumps out of bed. But last night, Cash slept all night. Chester, 2 a.m. puking.
Oh, see, that's
like,
it for me.
What?
The
Why?
puke sound.
Yeah.
I'm done.
It wakes me up immediately.
Yeah, I'm done.
And then I'm like, if it's not one, it's the other.
Yeah.
Right? Like as he said, the other,
Yeah.
the
They're
Basil,
babies
the one
too.
night. Yeah.
Tico's so far up my butt. I'm like, I feel so awful because he was my baby, and now I'm
same
literally
with
like, if
Chester.
you don't get out of my butt,
know.
I'm gonna lose it. Like I tripped over him the one time, and I literally tore my big toenail off, busted my knee, bruised my elbow, almost nailed poor Dale against the crib because he's literally everywhere I
way.
turn, he's just there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my sister's like, it's because he wants to make sure you're okay. Well, I'm not because he's up my butt. Like,
It'd be better if you would back it up.
yes.
Yeah, I know. Those poor first fur babies.
I know. Only child syndrome.
Yeah, they don't get it.
And now Dale's like starting to recognize him, and he just laughs at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does Cash. He'll pet him.
Yeah.
He'll
Well, I'm fearful.
I know.
My
We're
dog's
like right there.
My dog's awesome, and I don't think he ever would. But God, if he did, so I don't really let.
That's
like,
fair. No, we're like right there, and Craig will try to get a little bit like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we don't know.
Yeah.
You never know.
I never know when he's gonna pull his ear the wrong
just
way,
pinch him or something,
So I
yeah.
just get fearful. So I
Yeah.
try to keep him away. That's my anxiety. But
Hey, that's nothing wrong with being too safe.
yeah, seriously, where are we at? How we doing? We're just cruising.
Yeah. Been about an hour, yeah.
Oh, word. This was like the most
Chill.
bit boppity.
Bit boppity. We covered everything that you didn't get to come on an episode for. Pretty much so far.
I just was like catching up on life
Yeah.
in general.
Dale Part 2.
Dale Part 2. Doing it. Being
Wonder-
a stay-at-home mom.
I wonder how many parts Dale will have.
I hope this is it. I hope
That's not
this
fair
is
to
it.
the other babies. He gets so
No,
many
he
episodes.
does not need his own episode. We talked about a lot more than just him.
I
I
know.
tried. I didn't want to make a whole nother episode about his thing. His hopefully RSV's done. Like what baby gets RSV twice?
I didn't know that was possible.
Me either. But he did. Yep. Sure did. And now we're scared he's going to get sick again, so that's
The anxiety of that. I know.
yeah.
Yeah. That's the other night when Cash was not sleeping. And you never know what it is. Is it
No.
teething? Are you having a growth spurt? Is your belly hurt? Do you have
Yeah.
gas?
Is it yeah.
Are you getting sick? What's going on? You never know.
Mm-mm.
So I'm like, great. He's getting sick.
Great, I'm going to call off work tomorrow again.
Immediate thought.
Yeah. And thank God that you have a job that's been understanding to this point. I mean, it still doesn't make it easy for you to try to get caught up and stuff.
Yeah.
But
And I hate using my vacation days to actually be sick.
yeah.
It's the worst. It's also the worst when both parents are sick at the same time. Craig and I experienced that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we both got the stomach bug at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Like
was-
when I did.
Yeah, it was awful. Because I'm like, how do you take care of a baby
Yep.
when you're both
You don't.
sick?
And then my poor mother got sick because she was helping me.
I know, Craig's mom.
Yep.
She stopped over to help, and she immediately got it. We warned her.
Yeah, my mom kind of figured, but yeah, it's awful.
Nope.
And it's not their fault because then they're
Yeah.
sick too. But it's like, how am I supposed to not poop my pants while I'm helping you?
Or like like Craig. At one point, I was trying to rock Cash to sleep, and Craig's like, "How are you even holding him?" I'm like, "I don't have a choice."
Yeah, what else am I supposed
What
to
do you
do?
want me to do?
Yeah, what else am I supposed to do?
Craig's like, "I'm dying."
Of course he is. They're always dying.
I'm like, this is how I felt in labor, but like worse. I felt sick on top of major contractions.
Oh my
so-
God. I have something that I saw that is so funny to wrap it up. There was me and TikTok. Clearly that if you ask me what I like to do, watch TikToks. That's my hobby.
It's
There was
good
a
hobby.
lady the other day on TikTok that was like, she's a comedian, and it was like just a little skit she did. And she was like, so why is it that one of the first questions we ask a woman is if you got the epidural or if you did it natural, or we like think it's great to do it natural? And I just like don't understand that. Like that should be how we treat every major like surgery or medical event then. Like, oh yeah, I had appendicitis and I got my appendix out, but it was unmedicated for me. Like
nobody would ever do that.
yeah, like nobody. Why? And she's like, I just don't understand it. Like, why would I do that to myself? When people used to ask me that, I'd be like, why would I do that? Why would I push out a human?
Yeah, I never thought
With
about it that
nothing.
way. Yeah. No, I never thought about it that way.
Men could never.
Could never.
Literally never. Jacob, the first little contraction would have been like, I can't. I can't. Again, I love you if you're listening.
We love our husbands. We do.
But seriously.
But no, they couldn't.
You can't even handle a man cold. How are you going to birth a human?
Man cold.
That's what I call it.
No, literally, Craig.
Sick. I'm so sick.
Craig was just terrible when he was sick. He was just literally saying, "I'm dying." I'm like, "You're okay. It's just
I'm dying too.
Bug." Yeah.
I'm dying too.
I'm right beside you, literally in the bed with you. I'm having the same things, and
that stomach bug was vicious,
it was
though.
So bad.
I legit pooped my pants. Have not done that in a very long time. Clearly, since I was probably a child, but I did. It was awful.
And I was so worried that both of us were gonna have to go to the bathroom at the same time because we only have one bathroom.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
I left a bucket outside. It didn't happen, luckily. Somehow.
Mine was so bad. I mean, I ended up in the hospital. So.
Yeah, yours, it's hard to stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah, and I hit a point where I literally, if I took a sip of water, I vomited, for 2 hours. It was so bad. It was awful. I hope, anybody listen, I hope if you already had it, I'm so sorry. And if you get it.
I hope you don't. I haven't heard anybody else getting it recently, so hopefully it's. But there's just so much going around. What did that doctor say at the PICU?
Yeah, he was the head doctor, and he said he's been there for 16 years in the PICU, and this has been the worst sick season. He said double viruses, he has seen the pneumonia, RSV.
I know a mom with her baby right now.
He
has
said he's never seen this in his life, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty impactful, because I was asking a million questions because how is this going to affect his lungs long term? How and then I was worried he's been sick. Like I said, has RSV twice, pneumonia twice,
in 7 months,
rhinovirus twice.
Yeah.
What is this? Is he immunocompromised? Is it autoimmune? Celiac, you have? If it is gluten? And he basically was just it's bad luck. Straight up was he's a daycare baby.
Yep.
It's bad luck. It's this terrible sick season. And that's just it. And it's okay, but daycare, what else are you supposed to do? What?
I know, it was so, you have to.
Yeah.
We don't have another choice.
Yeah, what else am I supposed to do?
I just hope it's going to pay off for us when they go to school.
Yeah.
Our kids will be bring it on.
I mean, and most of what he had, I think, was me bringing it home from work because nobody else at daycare was sick. So, because I was the one to let daycare know, hey, Dale had RSV, not sure if which he never even went.
Right.
Just want to let everybody know, I paid $5,200 from the middle of October to December, and he only went for 4.5 weeks total.
Disgusting.
That makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
Thank God I loved his daycare, but that makes me want to throw up.
Yeah. Well, think of how much you're going to save now.
Yeah. Except I'm not getting paid, but.
Yeah.
It's a give and take. It's a give and take.
You're either paying for daycare or you're not getting paid.
Or you just have no money.
Yeah.
No, we have money. But yeah, it's
tough.
You never make the right choice. But I have a challenge for every mom.
Oh.
Including you.
Okay.
You need to find what you like to do. And every week you need to carve out time to do it. Whether it's an hour or 2 hours. I'm going to put a poll on Pump and Dump, and I'm going to put on there and ask, what do you like to do? And you have to be able to tell us.
Yes.
And if you don't know, do some self-reflection and think about you before being a mom and find something and do it for you.
Are you going to be a therapist?
I used to want to be. I did.
Katie, you're going to open up so many opportunities.
I'm doing something.
You're like a reset.
I'm doing something.
Do whatever you want to do. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Maybe a stay-at-home mom for now and just enjoy it.
That's okay.
Because I do keep trying to think, what am I going to do? And I just need to do this.
Yep.
Do me.
And it'll come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're doing great.
Just a reminder, if you're Miss Rachel or Colleen Hoover,
hit us up.
Hit us up. We would love to have you.
That is all.
That's it.
Bye.
That's all I want to say.